What's a song, with no lyrics, that makes you very emotional or brings you to tears? The theme from Schindler's List usually gets a couple tears out of me. Adagio for Strings by Samuel Barber. Clair de Lune. Great Gig in the Sky, Pink Floyd. On the Nature of Daylight by Max Richter. That swelling, emotional music in the movie Arrival and in the heartrending episode of The Last of Us. God damn it. Moonlight Sonata. The second movement of Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto always gets me. And I don't even know why I'm crying, lol. Edit forgot to put which concerto. Whatever the score was to the Bluey episode Sleepy Time. Jurassic Park theme by John Williams. To Zanarkand Distant Worlds version. Orchestrated version of the famous Final Fantasy X soundpiece. I cried for the entire song when I heard it the first time, and still shed a tear today. Rhapsody in Blue, George Gershwin, Feels So Good, Chuck Mangione. A Warm Place by Nine Inch Nails. The Interstellar theme. River Flows in You, Yuruma. Barber's Adagio for Strings. The Lord of the Rings soundtracks. Any of it, all of it, always. Intro by the XX. SRV's version of Little Wing. Technically it has lyrics, but they were seldom sang, and the song is known for the instrumental. Theme to MASH is Painless. John Ireland Legend. Aaron Copland Appalachian Spring. Modest Mussorgsky Night on Bear Mountain. And two very special ones with lyrics. Klaatu calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Jim Henson as Kermit, Rainbow Connection. Those last two were my husband's favorite songs, and I lost him to cancer when we were 38 years old. We had been a couple since meeting in second grade, so I still got 30 years with him. But I'll get emotional if I hear them. Sleepwalk by Santo and Johnny. I blame the movie La Bamba for the emotional reaction. Hymn to the Sea by James Horner from the Titanic soundtrack. I'm sorry, but there's absolutely no way for me to recommend just one, so I'm just going to give you a little list. Suspension. Another Place. Two Rivers. Where Were You All by Jeff Beck. Rubina. Made of Tears, Joe Satriani. Marooned, Pink Floyd. Berceuse in D-flat major. Op. 57 Maurizio Pollini, Chopin. Different artists have different interpretations though, but I prefer this version. Hyperborea, Tangerine Dream, not the remastered version. The Great Migration, James Horner from The Land Before Time. Also the entire Dances with Wolves soundtrack. Beautiful movie, worth the watch. Pachelbel's Canon. Elegia by New Order. Maybe knowing the backstory behind it helps, but it's still a haunting piece. The Melancholy Taxi theme song. Beethoven's Ninth is the only piece of music that never fails to make me cry when I listen to it live. There's something about that sudden silence before the theme of joy comes in the first time. So quiet and deep, played by the cellos and double bass. From that point onwards, I just cry non-stop. This Land, Hans Zimmer. There's a reason he won an Oscar for his work on The Lion King. How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack. A Day Without Rain, Enya. Cornfield Chase. Stuff We Did from the movie Up. Time, Hans Zimmer. One's not mentioned yet. Stay With Me from the Fountain soundtrack. Composed by Clint Mansell and performed by the Kronos Quartet. Solitude by Bob Christensen from the pivotal scene in Sex and the City after Big has heart surgery and asks Carrie, "What are we doing?" And It's Me and You Sweet by Aaron Zigman from the first SATC movie. O Magnum Mysterium by Morten Lauridsen. The original was choral with words, but equally well known is the instrumental version, so I'm counting it. Second movement of Dvorak's New World Symphony. All of them give me a huge throat lump every time. Princess Leia's theme. Star Wars soundtrack. John Williams, The London Symphony Orchestra. 1977. I've always loved this piece. But after Carrie Fisher's passing, it just hits me in the feels every time. The Pas de Deux from the Nutcracker, Tchaikovsky. Technically doesn't have lyrics, but there's singing. The Great Gig in the Sky. By Pink Floyd. It makes my heart ache when I let that song hit me. Canon in D. Lisa Gerrard has said that her Sandvine with Dead Can Dance contains no lyrics, but rather a series of vocal patterns. And they certainly are effective, coupled with the music, in bringing an intent listener to a humbled state deep within. Mozart Piano Concerto No. 21 in C major. Halo 3 main menu. Nuvole Bianchi by Ludovico Einaudi, also for Elise. Fanfare for the Common Man by Aaron Copland. Eric Satie Gymnopédie No. 1. Brian Eno Ascent and Ending. Radiohead Pyramid Song. Beethoven Piano Sonata No. 14 Moonlight Sonata. Rival Consoles Untravel. Cliffs of Dover. Jessica by Allman Brothers fills me with unbridled bliss every time I hear it. Clair de Lune Claude Debussy. Nocturne Op. 9 No. 2 Violin and Piano Frédéric Chopin. Winter Balmoré. Chariots of Fire. Vangelis. Theme from Schindler's List. That violin does me in every time. Light of the Seven Ramin Djawadi. Robert Miles Children. Gabriel's Oboe or several of the songs from the Mission movie. Composed by Ennio Morricone. Music from Interstellar. Composed by Hans Zimmer. Taps. Porcelain by Moby. The cello version of Nothing Else Matters. Clubbed to Death by Rob Dugan. The piano in the middle, OK Sign. The one song from La La Land that's just piano, I think it's just Mia and Sebastian's theme. IDK Why It Makes Me Cry SM. Riders of Rohan. Luc Saturna. Gymnopédie and Clair de Lune. Tycho Awake, actually just that whole album, lol. Chemical Brothers Too Many Mornings. For Absent Friends by Opeth. Or Friend of the Night by Mogwai. Both invoke some major milestones in my life. They not only came out during major transformation in my life, but they remind me of friends and family, pets and places, even feelings that are now long gone, passed on, or taken away too soon. I can't help but just sit there and listen to the whole song. Sometimes motionless, since my mind and imagination are sent running wild. Has a handful of words, but Wait by M83 is sad for me. I can't really explain why either. Pretty much anything Max Richter did for The Leftovers. Especially The Departure and The Quality of Mercy. I also always get pretty emotional to Lemongrass MF Doom off his Special Herbs beat tape. Waterways by Ludovico Einaudi. Agape by Nicholas Breitel. Theme to Terms of Endearment and the Piano. Maggot Brain. Ave Maria, the version by Charles Gounod and Yo-Yo Ma. Keating's Triumph from Dead Poets Society by Maurice Jarre. Orion by Metallica. Sleepwalk Santo and Johnny. Albione's Adagios. Pretty much any of them, but especially the one used for the Deer Hunter. Technically has a person speaking in the beginning, but Watermelon in Easter Hay by Frank Zappa. Reprise by Joe Hisaishi.